Welcome to another episode of InBetweenSets. On today's episode, the question is, how can I make my workouts more intense and safer at the same time? I'm going to be talking to you about tempo. The last client I just had, a young man who is a athlete. He's getting ready to graduate college and start his career in life and in business. So we've been training consistently for the last 2 years. There's a couple of things that I did during this session. One specifically was slowing down the tempo, and the second thing was including a pause. And by doing that, we were able to really dial in the load, but also get exactly what we were going for in the gym. So right now our focus with him is strength, trying to get him strong and to build some muscle. I want to introduce you to this concept of tempo. I've mentioned it before. On the first episode, I did speak on progressive overload. And so essentially what tempo is, let me see if you can see that, is slowing down the repetition. So you see here I have a series of numbers. Each of these numbers represents a different part of the lift. The first number represents the lowering of the lift. So if you're doing a bench press, let's just start with, for example, this tempo, which is a typical tempo. You would lower it in 3 seconds or 3 count, 3, 2, 1. The second number represents the bottom of the movement or the top, depending on the lift. And here there's a pause. And then the third number represents the raising of the number. And then of course the fourth number represents the top of the lift. So you can see on some of these, I actually have an X in there. And at the very top, and going towards the top, you notice is a progressive increase in the count or the tempo or the time, decrease in tempo, increase in time on the lowering phase. You're gonna have a typical tempo, which you're controlling the weight on the way down, 3 count on the way down, 1 on the way up, no pause in between. But to intensify that movement, you can include pauses. So here I have a 1 count pause, followed by an explosive lift and a 1 count pause at the top. Same thing here, 1 second pause with a bit of a slower tempo. Here I don't have a pause, but the lowering tempo is very low. And this final one is actually just an eccentric. This is something that I would use as a finisher. So it's just lowering perhaps to some pins, or if you have a spotter, lowering for a 10 count and having them help you lift it up. This does 3 things. Number 1, it engages the mind and the body. It's very important when you're lifting to engage the mind, to be not only focused on the lift, but also to be so in tune with just to be completely focused. So it engages the mind, having a count if you're counting on your own, and of course the body as well. So as you slow the movement down, you'll quickly realize how much more challenging it is. So your level of concentration and body control is going to have to increase. Number 2, what it also does, it makes it safer. Because you're more aware, because you're more conscious, and physically you have to control yourself because of the slower tempo, it's actually safer because you know that when you're done, you're done. If you're not able to maintain the tempo on any one of those, all you do is rack it up, either finish a set there or rest and repeat, or after you've got enough rest. But it's safer because you know I have this tempo to keep, and as long as I can keep it, I'm in control. If I'm not able to keep it, then I'm not in control. So it's much safer because you have control. And then of course, the last thing, you can get stronger. You will get stronger because now this is a parameter that you can use to help you progressively overload whatever exercise you're doing. So you can get stronger because over time, if, for example, you're not able to maintain one of these tempos, for example, let's say a 5-0x0 tempo on one of those sets. Let's say you maybe had 5 or 6 or 7 reps to do in that set, but you're only able to complete, 4 of those on the last set. So instead of next time trying to put more weight on the bar, you can simply say, hey, you know what? I'm going to try to complete all 7 repetitions of this set on this next workout. So essentially what you can do over time is use the tempo as a parameter to help you progressively overload, and let the actual tempo be another factor that you're trying to improve your function on. So again, this is how to get stronger, how to increase the intensity of your workout and lift safer at the same time. I hope this is helpful. Until next time, peace.